Afternoon, guys. This is Jacob on the One Up Top again, and today I'm going to be previewing Fulham against Man City. But like the Wealdstone Ranger, I got no fans, so what I need to do is preview these games. But at the same time, I want to say to you guys that if you know anybody that supports Fulham or Man City that wants to get their voice heard, or you know that they've got a great opinion on football, just put them through to me and we can have a discussion. But for the time being, I'll preview it because it's a game I'm going to be watching anyway. So, first of all, we'll look at Fulham first because Man City are pretty obvious how to sum them up because they've been nothing short of brilliant. But with Fulham even, you know, Scott Parker, who's one of my favourite players for Spurs, he's got he's got them really believing that they can, break out of a relegation fight. And they're actually playing well, They played against Spurs about a week ago. Probably deserved a draw. They got a goal disallowed, and Spurs were terrible that day. So realistically, they deserve some credit for actually coming through that game. They just didn't get the points. And then obviously we all saw at the last weekend, what they did to Liverpool. And even though Liverpool on bad form, we will have to still appreciate the champions. And Fulham went there and beat them quite convincingly. So I come into this game thinking Fulham will probably make a good account of themselves. You've got Lamina that's come in and done a very good job, similar job to what he was doing at Southampton and bits and bobs at Juventus. You've got Cavallero, who's a very good forward in all positions, Bobby Reed. And, the main man they've got out there, Lookman, Everton didn't seem as good enough. He went to Leipzig and tried his stuff there, but he's come to Fulham and really found a home. And I think he's a very good player that will be in the Premier League, whether Fulham stay up or not. But I'm confident that Fulham will stay up, I'm not sure if they'll get a result here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got one because they've been playing so well. And as I say, they've come through unscathed against Liverpool, and they'll be looking at the Spurs game thinking, okay, we lost it, but pretty much based on their second half, they deserved at least a point. And then we'll go over to their opposition now, which is Man City. Now, Man City have just been steamrolling teams up until last weekend when they played Man United, who did a very good job on them. Now, Man City are a great team. Pep Guardiola does things in football that you wouldn't even think of. Like, I'm still baffled as to how he gets his fullbacks to come inside and play central midfield. Like, I've been a left back before. I've never, ever dreamed of going anywhere central unless I've really had to go mark my man there. I've normally gone up the wing, worked backwards and forwards rather than inwards. So for him to do that, implement it, keep clean sheets and win 20 games on the spin in all competitions is quite remarkable. So I think the Man United game would have not necessarily dented their confidence, but it would have dented their pride because they would have wanted to extend this winning run. And if they'd beat Man United, they'd walk into this game with a bit more confidence. Now Man United have given them something to think of. But I think it'd be one of those games where City don't really go into top gear, but then they still get the result. I can see maybe Jesus nicking a goal, but again, you don't even know who City are going to play with. They've got so many options. You don't really have confidence in certain players always playing, apart from maybe a Gundogan, Raheem Sterling. Cancelo's been one of their player of the seasons, and you can't even guarantee he's going to start because Kyle Walker's come back into fitness. Zinchenko's doing well. But if I'm going to break this game down, I'd like to think that Fulham will play very well. They'll make a great account of themselves. They won't get massively beat, but I think they'll get beat. So if I'm going to throw my hat on a result, I would say a 2-1 Man City. I can see Man City taking the lead, Fulham coming back into the game, and then towards the end of the game, I can see Man City just having too much firepower, whether it be on the pitch or coming off the bench. Their bench, they've got people on their bench that a lot of the top teams in England would have in their first starting lineup. So for them to have that embarrassment of riches, I think whether they're playing Fulham or any other team, that's what can get them over the line. So I can see this being a 2-1 Man City, a Fulham making a great account of themselves, and I can see it being the beginning of another run of games where Man City are just going to ensure that they confirm that they take the title back away from Liverpool.